Pharmacy Friends brings industry experts to the same table to talk about what's happening in pharmacy today, what's coming, and most importantly, what it means to you. We explore and share pharmacy trends stemming from the evolving healthcare market, where advancements, policy changes, and technical advancements make a difference. We're about to hear about an award-winning research study. Recently, a number of generic multiple sclerosis medications supported by the American Academy of Neurology have become more widely available. Managed care pharmacists can aid individuals in transitioning to generic therapies, reducing total drug spend and member cost. But just how successful can this transition be? Prime MRX researchers took a closer look, and Nick Friedlander, clinical program pharmacist with Prime MRX, explains how this transition may lead to remarkable savings and an improved health outcome. Well, thank you for joining us, Nick, and congratulations to you and your team on this study receiving a gold award from AMCP. So, what does it mean to have a recognition like that for research?
Yeah, I mean, it's just really a testament to the hard work of a lot of people who are involved in this. When we think of something like High Touch RX, there's a lot of people like myself functioning in the background to try to drive these outcomes. And then we have the boots on the ground pharmacists that are really totally invaluable to what we do. So I think it's just a testament to the work of this group and the quality of research that Prime puts out. I think that's really a hallmark of Prime, and one of the things I value the most is the commitment to the research that we put out and putting out quality research.
So past research from Prime MRX has looked at a range of factors to improve costs for patients, but this study identified some pretty staggering savings figures. Tell us about the research and what you did find.
Yeah, so this research specifically focused on one of the rule categories that we have, even a component of one of the rule categories we have in the High Touch RX suite of rules and rule categories. So we looked specifically at how we can leverage managed care pharmacists who are part of the High Touch RX team to drive generic drug utilization in the multiple sclerosis space, where there are generic alternatives available and where we have that clinical appropriateness and ability to reduce not only the gross cost and net cost to our clients, but also contain member cost as well. So looking at kind of all of those pieces in addition to the trade considerations, just trying to enforce some of the upstream strategies that are in place and things that slip through the cracks that maybe require more of that high touch approach.
So this study clearly shows the value of adopting these MCP facing tools. And obviously it's about improving the outreach between pharmacist to provider and pharmacist to pharmacist. But what are some of the challenges that we see in adopting these tools?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the MCP, managed care pharmacists, conduct these outreaches on behalf of clients. We also have clients conducting these outreaches using Blues Plans pharmacists. I think as far as the adoption goes, there are questions about, are we going to be able to replicate the success that we've seen historically? And we try to really support that through user forum meetings where we bring together people who have been using this platform for years now and new users of the platform to try to provide that insight on strategic approaches that can kind of help to address that concern. I would say that's probably the largest concern we have as far as implementation is we've had a lot of historical success. Will we be able to replicate the same thing with our lives? Mm-hmm. And to date, I think we've had tons of success in our ability to have success in a broad range of populations.
So what are some of the other complex disease states where we have seen that a transition to generics might lead to a marked improvement in therapy and health outcomes?
When we think about generic transition, I think of it as a relatively low risk type of intervention. We have sort of the FDA rubber stamp at that point to say, these are equivalent products. We would expect the same sort of health outcomes regardless of if you're using a brand or generic product. This has been a really big one for us in the multiple sclerosis space. There's been a lot of amenability to that recommendation. I think moreover, cancer drugs, which can be exceptionally expensive and can offer generic alternatives, there's a willingness on the part of the provider to do things that can generate savings for members. But really, we target so broadly in the brand to generic space with obviously the nuanced perspective of can we drive these on the basis of the formulary benefit design for the member, existing trade agreements, and everything else. So It's a really broad range of things that we target in this space. I would say that cancer is one of the kind of additional areas where brand to generic can really drive substantial savings with a minimal impact on real health outcomes, at least from the perspective that we have on how those generic alternatives compare to the brand products that they're using now.
Okay. Well, so now we're asking some guests some additional questions.
Yeah.
And it's trivia based on our host city of New Orleans. And so here is your trivia question to test your knowledge. So Café du Monde is a famed establishment known for their coffee and beignets, but the coffee they serve is unique as it's mixed with something different. What is it?
Oh. I'm going to go ahead and guess cocoa. I have no idea.
That's a good guess. It's chicory.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of chicory coffee before. That is a good trivia question.
Now, I'll give you the bonus question. Do you know what chicory is?
It's some type of nut or seed, isn't it?
It's the root of an endive plant.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, you're blowing my mind here for sure. That's awesome.
Well, I'm glad that we could teach you a little something about chicory coffee.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Nick.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.